Just because you can doesn't mean that you should. One of the most difficult things that lawyers face that no one really talks about is when what you think is best in a situation comes into conflict with what the client thinks is best in the situation. And at our firm, we had this come up just this week, even though it's like, look, I'm very like lawyer in the hat at my office today. I was talking to a lawyer about a situation recently where it was pretty clear at the hearing how it was going to go. We were going to be successful for our client. We had all the facts and everything about why this kiddo should come and do this thing with one of the parents versus with the other parent. There were some, pretty hard facts. And it was pretty clear to us, hey, how this is going to go. Sometimes, it's a little more everything. And other times you're like, yeah, I got it. And when the time came on the courthouse steps, the parents, such careful, loving wisdom, wanted to pull back. They said, no. Even though, yeah, I hear you, even though we'd win, even though we got it, it's not what's best for our daughter. It's not what's best for her. And for those of us in the Long Timers Club who've been doing this for a while, we know what that means. We know what it feels like to say, even if I'd win, it's not what's best for the kiddo in my mama or my daddy heart. And I'm not going to do that because I love them. And for a lawyer, our job, right, like when I put on my lawyer hat, on the other side, it's go win, fight for our clients, advocate. And it takes nuance and understanding and empathy and compassion to pull back, not to get the win, not to get in there in the courtroom and prove our point, but instead to say, I work for you. And if you believe that pulling back and not pursuing this is what's best for your kid, even if inside personally I may disagree, even if personally I think I might do something else, even if personally I think you're a fool or whatever, as long as it's like legal and within, the bounds of our jobs, I work for you. So yes, I will do that. And I respect you and honor you as this child's parent so much. And thank you for being an example and having the courage that just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because you can doesn't mean that you should. And it is hard for us lawyers to get that. If you got a good team, right, who wants to get in there and fight for you. And sometimes the real fight, the real way to win is a long range plan. And the antidote, sometimes because people say like, oh, but then she or he gets away with it. And I can't let him get away with that. But the antidote to a war and to a fight is not more fight. Sometimes it's peace. And we as parents in this for the long haul learn, especially as your kids get older, that a lot of times the answer isn't more fight, fire on top of fire with kids as the kindling. Instead, sometimes the antidote is less, and to be an easy place for those kiddos to come and to be loved when they're ready and when the time is right. And as a mom who's been through this myself, I know that that's a lesson I've come to over the years. It's been hard fought. It ain't easy. It takes a lot of denying yourself and what you want and your feelings and your preferences for the sake of the other. But isn't that what we signed up for? We did as parents, not as lawyers. And so I think it's really nuanced for you to the extent you're considering a lawyer. So watching this, thinking about what legal team, making sure wherever you are that you get with a team who understands their role is to work for you. And not a sense of like, you work for me, so do what I say. Like when it comes to how we're going to answer this discovery, I'm going to say how this goes, right? But when it comes to making the big strategic calls about what's right for you and for your family, that's a you call. And I'm going to defer to you.